like what you'll get from making your own, really. Like back in like medieval dark times, it was like common that basically the royals and so forth, the higher ups, the aristocrats, they would have white bread. It's super refined. It's like, you know, fancy bread, if you will. And the peasants used to get the dark spelt, the rye, all of these natural grains, and it turns out it was healthier to have that. Like, now that we look back on it, but medieval times is your expertise. Can you tell again what you do to it next? Next after this, so after this will be, so we have to grow this and mature it for the next 5 days. So what we'll do is we'll halve this. So you take half of it out, and then you will add to this again 30 ml and 30 grams of flour. So 30 ml of water, 30 grams of flour, and mix it in again. And the first thing you will put in here is the lukewarm water. So the 30 ml of lukewarm water, mix it all up. So this is broken down into the water. Then add your flour. So I'll have to definitely show you guys that. Maybe I'll make a little video tomorrow when I actually do it, so I can show you guys how to actually do it yourselves at home. Oh, hey Hubba! Making your own recipes, cooking, baking also gives you a total control of what goes in it. Exactly. Like, I know this is going to be bad because this is the bread I'm using tonight for my burgers, but I actually don't have burger buns. But the stuff that is in this is disgusting, and I can't believe I'm going to use it. But, you know, you don't want emulsifiers in it. You don't want, you can avoid improvers, which I can explain what all these ingredients are if you like. Imitation vinegar, like you don't fucking need any of that. All you need is flour, water, yeast, salt, maybe some olive oil, or some kind of oil for a preservative. You really don't need any of that other bullshit. You don't need emulsifiers. You don't need improvers. You don't need vinegar. Like, it's a bit silly, but that is so it's shelf stable. So when you come into the shops, it might have been sitting there for like a week or something, or like a couple of days. Like, it's going to be preserved a bit more. What happens to the other half? You can chuck it out. You can chuck it out, you can put it in your compost, you can just get rid of it. I would probably avoid eating it. Although it's also known that bakers do tend to taste it to see what kind of fermentation and maturity that it has. But being in such an early stage, you probably will just taste flour. So yeah, what you do with that other half is just either get rid of it or put it in your compost. It's totally fine for your compost. Even the microorganisms that's developing in it will be good for getting that happening, getting all that stuff moving along if you do have a compost at home. It's also usually enriched, so if you survive that bread, yeah, so bread can be enriched. You see a lot of fruit breads, so enrichment means butters, it means oils, it means fruit, it means some kind of sugar, maybe some chocolate. Like, those are things that it would be called enriched. I wouldn't necessarily call emulsifiers enrichments. That's just preservatives to stabilize or shelf stabilize the bread. Holdover from the 1900s. Yeah, like a lot of people up until I guess more manufacturing times. So like really only kind of recently have they started using like preservatives. I mean, as long as preservatives have been around, I guess like the more kind of like chemical preservatives have been around. I think that is more the kind of where your white bread kind of started happening, like this block that we've got now kind of started happening. But before then, it was olive oils, it was sugars, it was, all these things like salts, maybe even just keeping it in a certain temperatures, dryness, all that kind of stuff. So yeah. Yeah, basically the post 1940s. That's very good, Hubba. So yeah, this is kind of what people used to start their breads with. It's very traditional. You still see it today in some artisan bakeries. You don't necessarily see it in the highly commercial bakeries. But yeah, so that's kind of the start of our little project. I hope I'm answering your questions where I can, at least, anyway. So I think we should get started on the burgers because goddamn, I'm hungry. Hey Atlantis. Whoa, this is new, dude. How are you going, Nanny? I've done like two cooking streams before this one. One was at my old house, and this is at my trashy new house. So, Epic Sandwich, thank you so much for wasting your points. So yeah, we're gonna keep refeeding this for like the next 5 to 7 days, and I'll film a little bit of it so you guys can see kind of the process of that I go into. That's just my notes. I also have like an array of cooking books, array of baking books. This is my own recipe book that I have full of like recipes that I've collected over the years. It's not full, it's a work in progress, but I mean, I highly recommend you guys have a cooking journal at home if you're really interested in cooking. Mine is in my Gryffindor book. Malika, hello. I know I saw you before, but I didn't get a chance to say hello. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. But I think now we should get on to some burgers, because I think that's what we're all waiting for. And I tell you what, I kind of am too. You want that cake one day? The cake one is going to be a very interesting one. Very interesting. I also have my wine from the other day too. I haven't finished drinking it yet. Malika, did you crack open those 2 bottles of wine? Okay. So these are the only things I kind of had to wait to get out, so I apologize for like zipping over there. These are just going to be burgers. These are just going to be basic cheeseburgers that I love making at home. This is like a go-to kind of burgering. Just stole a great grandma's recipe. Oh, your great grandma's recipes when I was there last. Dude, it's the best. But we got no self-made bread yet. Oh, dude, you're gonna love the bread. I generally make flatbread because it's the easiest to start with, especially in terms of getting flavors. But I do have a recipe in here. I'm sure it's in here. I hope it's in here. Yes, it is. Okay. This is my grandmother's lemon sorbet recipe. And I don't think you guys will be able to read that because I struggle to read it. But this is her lemon sorbet recipe, and I'll show you one like another time. It's so delicious. But it's the only recipe I think I have of hers. And I think my mom's got the rest of them. So she's got so many recipe books, I don't even know. Sharing secret recipes? I mean, I'm sharing my recipes, so I want to get all of this kind of stuff out there and just like kind of have this meditative time in the kitchen with you guys. So still haven't opened them. I've collected a stack of recipes I've clipped from magazines, newspapers. Need to copy them into a notebook or a Word document. It's super worth it, especially having a recipe book in your kitchen. I know this is like a terrible thing to say, but if I die